Next up, we have Fisker and ChargePoint are teaming up for car charging in the US. Basically, Fisker is partnering with ChargePoint to provide access to its charging network across the US for Fisker Ocean EV owners. I don't even remember what the Ocean looks like. I'm going to Google that quick. But nonetheless, I more put this in here as not like oh, cool that Fisker is doing this. Um, oh, the Fisker Ocean looks like that. Okay, that's not half bad. Anyways, I put this in here more as like it's this whole electric car charging world is messed up. So I guess when I say that, what I mean is I think Tesla's the only one really making an effort here for the most part, but there's so many different types of charging ports, and it's not like a gas station where you pull up and they have all the options for you and you just put it in your car. You have to carry the excuse me. You have to carry the adapters with you to these charge ports to be able to plug in and use these things. I think making partnerships like this is great. I think what we really need to see is the car market really needs to just go, hey, we're all going to use Type C. I'm sure you'll have somebody that still pulls an Apple and is like, nah, we got the Lightning port, bro, we're good. But we need people to just agree, even though it's not as profitable, that to a certain extent these things need to be standardized. I think what we've seen in the US at least is that maybe the government here is a little less competent when it comes to regulating these technologies ahead of time. I feel like I read more articles about the EU forcing things to happen. Like Apple has to switch from the Lightning port here in the next couple of years, in Europe at least. Whether that means they go to Type C or wireless is up to them. But even if they go to wireless, that's at least standardized, pretty straightforward. Wireless works if you have wireless. So it's a win and a loss that way, but at least you're standardizing it more where you don't have all these adapters. I would argue the car market's even worse, where you have tons of different charging styles. I mean, I believe Ford has their own one, Porsche has their own one, Tesla has their own one. I'm not sure on Chevy and some of the other brands, but the point is there's a ton, and we need to standardize this stuff. And that's gonna, at some point, that's gonna hinder growth in the EV world, is charging. I mean, it already does to an extent, but not having the same access to chargers. I mean, what are the odds you go to a charger and it's broken or full or still being built anyways, and they just put it on their map already? I know people that's happened to. I know Tesla does a pretty good job at reporting that, but still can happen. So you got to standardize it somehow. And with how long charge times are, you need more spaces than a typical gas station. On top of that, I mean, the charging world, especially for electric vehicles, is just a mess right now. And it's going to have to change. There's no way around it. I mean, people aren't going to carry 30 adapters in their car at all times.